everyone, welcome back to Cowabunga Corner News. In this episode, we have some special guests from Playmates Toys. Could you guys introduce yourselves and let us know what you do with Playmates?
Yeah, my name is Pat Linden, and I am Vice President of Boys Marketing.
I'm Chris Kay from Playmates Toys, and I'm Director of Marketing.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. The new toy line has been exciting. Everyone's been buzzing about it ever since the toy fair. And I was wondering, when did you guys start putting this toy line together?
Oh gosh, let me think about that. I think, Chris, when was that?
Since 2009.
2009? Yeah, I think.
As soon as the sale happened, huh?
You know, more or less. I think we gave our first presentation, which was kind of a historical perspective, to Nickelodeon in March of 2009. And then after that, in terms of working with Nickelodeon and getting...
Wouldn't that have been 2010 then in March? Because the sale was in October 2009, so Nickelodeon would have been involved in March 2010.
You know what? You're right. You are correct. You're correct. See how time flies?
It just rolls like that.
Yes.
But with the new toys, so far we're seeing a lot of the same size scale to the old toys, which is amazing because now we can still intermix our action figures for the most case.
Right.
But the turtles themselves are different sizes. This is the first time you guys have gone out of the way to do that. Was that choice here at Playmates, or was that a Nickelodeon choice?
You know, I think it was a combination of both groups. You know, Nickelodeon, and talking to them, they really wanted to play up the different personalities of the turtles. And so because of it, we thought, you know what, we have to do the same. So let's sculpt each of the turtles individually. We'll sculpt them of different sizes, again, playing up that personality difference between the four.
Now, with the new turtle toy line, how has the sales been since they finally hit the shelves in July?
So far, we're off to a good start. You know, in the toy business, you never know what's going to happen. There's no guarantees, but we're off to a good start, and hopefully with the launch of the TV show happening in a couple weeks, we'll see sales continue to grow.
Yeah, because I know some stores, you go there and they're already cleared off the shelves. Which
is great. I mean, it's good for everybody all the way around.
Now, in the past, there's been a lot of turtle toy lines that have come out. What has been some of the better selling toy lines from the Ninja Turtle history?
In terms, when you say better selling toy lines?
As in, which one sold the most?
From what era, or?
Like there's the movie stars, there's the Toon Turtles, there's the Universal Monsters.
You know, I think when you pinpoint it down, I think it's really the time framing, and I think it goes back to like 1990 was probably the peak year for all of Turtles. So in that year was probably the basic figure assortment within that year was probably the ultimate big driver for Turtle toys.
That was around the time when I was getting into it. And you guys had a lot of awesome toys out there at the time.
Yeah, 1990 was a huge year, huge year. And actually, I think there's a story, and I don't know if it's true or not, but at one of the major retailers, they said that we sold more turtle figures than they did mini Snicker candy bars, believe it or not.
Wow.
So, pretty impressive.
How long have you guys been with Playmates?
How was it? 4 years, I believe, right now? Yeah.
And I've been here for 14 years. So I've been with Playmates for a while. Obviously, I wasn't here during the original launch, but was here during the relaunch, and now obviously the Nickelodeon launch as well.
How did the 2003 series go with sales and stuff?
You know, 2003 was very successful. You know, the programming then was a little different than what it's going to be with the Nickelodeon launch. I think the creator, Peter Laird, wanted a darker, edgier show, and I think that's what 4Kids delivered. But even though it was darker and edgier, it still performed very well, which I think, you know, again, speaks to the strength of the Ninja Turtles.
With the original cartoon series, you did not do too many of the human characters at first until the Toon Turtle release. Now, with the new series, I'm seeing already April and the toy line and Shredder, but they were in the first launch. But is there other human characters in the show? Will the toys be coming out of those characters in the normal lines as well? Or are they, if they do show up as a toy, going to be like a wacky action type thing?
You know, I think it's still to be determined depending on the character and what role they play in the TV show. Traditionally in male action, specifically with Turtles, human characters don't sell as well as the mutants do. So, you know, we like it when there's more mutants than humans, to be honest.
Yeah.
Are we looking for seeing a lot of new vehicles and play sets down the line?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think one thing that helps kids complete the play pattern for Turtles is, you know, having vehicles, having play sets. You know, play sets in general have been kind of absent in the male action category. And obviously, you know, we made a big statement this year with the Sewer Lair play set.
It's huge. I love it.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see a villain type play set too. Like in the old days, we got the Technodrome. And then I don't remember an actual play set for the 2003 series. I'm hoping with this series we get to see a villain layer or something come out.
So do we.
So yeah, that would be totally cool. That's the kind of stuff.
Definitely complete the play pattern, and obviously the villains play as important role in the TV show as what the heroes do. So
yeah, it wouldn't be nearly as interesting if it was all good guys.
No, definitely would not be.
Now, do you guys have favorite toys out of the recent line that just came out to the stores?
They're all my favorites. Chris?
I like the, well, I mean, it's the new line for me. I mean, of course, you know, I like everything in the new line, but, you know, the basic role play right now, having the bandana, which is, you know, is you know, an adult like myself can put it on as well and role play.
That's cool. There's been a lot of adults wearing bandanas for things like Shell Shock's opening at Mall of America. They had us wear all bandanas. Adults and kids. It was a lot of fun. And at conventions, you see a lot of adults dressed up these days. You see Turtles and April and Casey walking around a lot. And sometimes a Shredder or two.
Yeah, that's one thing about Turtles. You know, I think people that grew up with them in the 80s and 90s, they were so involved with Turtles that they watched it every day on TV, and you know it still holds a special. They still hold a special place in their hearts.
Now, were you guys
Turtles.
Turtle fans before getting involved?
Were we Turtle fans before getting involved with Playmates?
Yes.
You know, during the original launch, I was in high school at the time. I definitely knew about Ninja Turtles, but it wasn't on my what do you call it? The
radar?
Something that I had to have list. So, a fan, yes, but it wasn't a must-have.
For me, I definitely started watching the show early on. It was my actually younger brother that would race home from school and turn on the TV, and he would constantly take over the TV watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So by default, I got into Turtles, you know, the original animation, watching it from my younger brother.
Have you guys gotten any sneak peeks as working on the toy lines to see what's coming up?
In terms of
the series,
the animation, you know, we've seen bits and pieces of the animation, and you know, we think Nickelodeon's done an outstanding job. I think, you know, what's key to the Turtle success is having that balance of action and humor, and it seems like they've done a good job of capturing it, and again, playing up the personalities of the four Turtles. That in combination with the CGI animation, you know, is crystal clear. The movements of the Turtles when they're using their weapons is very, very fluid, and you know, it's leaps and bounds ahead of what has been done in the past.
Yeah, and even today, when you compare, you know, the current Nickelodeon TV show to anything that's out there on the market, you know, it's really groundbreaking technology that they're coming up with and putting out there, you know, for the Turtles. So that's outstanding.
Have you guys think that you'll be watching the show yourself when it actually hits the air?
Definitely. I have 3 kids of my own, and they are already excited about Ninja Turtles, even though they're a year and a half and the daughter's 3 years old. But you know, I brought home some of the toys, and they like the Ninja Turtles, and they'll definitely be tuning in because they won't have a choice, because I will be tuned in.
That's a good reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's you know, we definitely put a lot of heart and energy into the toy line, and of course Nickelodeon's doing the same in this show. And of course, you know, even though we'd probably already have seen the first episode maybe, or you know, but we'd watch it again.
Now, is there anybody still here at Playmates that worked on the original toy lines?
Yes, Carl Aronian, who isn't in the office today. He was here during the original launch and left just before the relaunch, and is obviously back again for Nickelodeon's relaunch.
And you guys also brought Varner Studios back on for sculpting.
We did, between Varner Studios and Ed Mosqueda.
Yeah.
Those two guys were responsible for a lot of the sculpts in the original launch, and if I remember correctly, they did the sculpts for the Turtles in the relaunch as well.
For some of them, yes, they did.
Yes.
So they were around for quite some time. With so many people being brought back towards the Turtles now, was that a conscious decision of bringing back the people who made Turtles a success in the first place? Or was that a decision of just going after the right people with the right skills?
You know, I think it was a combination of both. I think that, you know, obviously those people know Turtles, and, you know, I think it still holds a special place in their heart as well. And I think they were very passionate about it the first time. And you can see that, you know, based on the work that they've done with the sculpts this time around as well. So, you know, they were involved the first time, they have a passion for it, and I don't think that passion has ever gone away.
They get the designs from here. How's the process of designing the toys from what you get from the cartoon show?
You know, we get a lot of reference from Nickelodeon, and then we turn it over to our design group, which includes Ray Guyman and Mark Lee, and they'll do the drawings, and then those drawings are sent over to Hong Kong, and we have Hong Kong, in some cases, make the sculpts, or we have the sculpts done locally.
Okay.
But with that too, it's also a collaboration with Nickelodeon as well, of going back and forth of, you know, if there's any slight variations from, you know, the animation show, you know, why we're taking those variations, or why Nickelodeon is holding strong of incorporating, you know, what is actually seen in the show as well. So it's a good collaboration of going back and forth with Nickelodeon on that.
Yep.
That's really good. Is there certain people at Nickelodeon that you guys have more contact with, the designers, or?
You know, in the New York office, we have, you know, almost day-to-day conversations with consumer products. So between Nickelodeon consumer products, and then, you know, approximately once a month, we meet with the animators up in Burbank and review the toy line with them. So it's a very, very good collaboration, and, you know, I think we get along well, and I think that's coming through in what you're seeing in the product as well as the packaging.
The past, it's always been the toys first, then, well, the comics, the toys, then the cartoon, and we're going in that pattern again with IDW, and then you guys, and the show's coming out, and it just seems like the right time.
I think so. I think, you know, you look at the male action aisle, there's a lot of mature brands out there, and, you know, the aisle is in need of something new and fresh, and I think
You do
Turtles
realize
is coming
there's a
along at the
lot
same
of
time.
females too, right?
Oh, sorry. Don't want to forget the female fans out there.
Yeah, it's one thing. When I was a child, I always thought I was the only female fan, because it was always Ninja Turtles were a boy thing. And then when I got online, I found that 85% of the fans were female.
No, and I
So-
think we see it too. I mean, if we're wearing our turtle t-shirts out to a restaurant or whatever, you know, we'll have a lot of waitresses come up to us, hey, cool t-shirts. And we'll ask them, well, who was your favorite turtle? And they'll name off who their favorite turtle was, and then we'll throw some trivia questions at them, you know, which turtle wore the blue bandana, which turtle wore the red bandana, which turtle used the sai or the sword. And you'd be shocked at the number of girls that can actually answer the questions and answer correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and I think most of them started watching because of their brother who watched, and then they got into it, and
Right.
you know, it appealed to them, and they kept watching it.
Yep.
I was really impressed coming in and seeing turtles plastered everywhere here. It's just like, wow. You guys do have other toy lines around, obviously, but Turtles is your number one line right now, right?
Yeah, on the boy side, I mean, we're focused on Turtles, and, you know, obviously Turtles will always be near and dear to Playmates' heart, since we've been the only toy company that's done the Turtles. So, you know, going forward, hopefully we'll be the only company that ever does Turtles, and, you know, it'll be as big a success this time as it was in the original and relaunch.
Now, since you've started, has there been any Ninja Turtle toys designed and ready to be released that you're disappointed did not hit the market?
No,
Not really.
no. I mean, everything. I mean, if we come up with great designs, you know, Nickelodeon is very supportive of that, and of course, you know, they're some of them, you know, want to see it come to the market as well.
Not just talking about during the Nickelodeon time. What about before Nickelodeon? There was that Mirage line that was advertised at Comic-Con 2009, and we were seeing them actually sitting there on the counter, and they never came to stores.
Which ones were those?
They were based off of the Mirage Ninja Turtle comics. The 4 turtles wore red bandanas.
Okay.
Shredder's helmet actually came off.
Right.
It was an amazing design, and I had them in front of me going, as soon as they come out, I'm buying every single one of these. And I waited.
And you're still waiting.
I'm still waiting. So
Yeah, and I think there was initially plans to market those and bring those out to market, but with the preparation for Nickelodeon and developing the new line, I think there was the hiatus of let's give Turtles a rest, and there wasn't really anything new since then. So it was kind of those were put on the back burner, and then give the property a rest, and then now launch with the Nickelodeon property.
Which I think is paying dividends because the line feels fresh, it feels new. Just the look of the packaging is totally different than what's been done in the past, and I think it appeals to kids and adults alike.
has there been a big difference in dealing with Nickelodeon over Mirage Studios?
I think Mirage is a much smaller operation. Dealing with Nickelodeon, there's a lot more layers of people that are making the decisions. So, the turnaround time probably isn't as quick, but overall, it's been great working with them.
If there was anything you would personally like to see come to the market for Ninja Turtles that you're not sure if it's going to happen or anything like that, what would it be?
Chris?
There's definitely been, just hearing some of the initial response on the classic collection that's already been out there. There's been a lot of demand and response for Rocksteady and Bebop within that series. Also, Casey Jones, has definitely, his name has popped up quite a bit. So there is that possibility, for me as a fan as well, of seeing that in that line. But, it'll ultimately be up to, the demand of the market, whether or not there's enough demand out there to allow us to continue certain series.
Yep, I think you hit it right on the head.
Is there any chance with Archie having a relaunch in a way of graphic novels to see characters that have been in high demand amongst turtle fans, like the Mighty Munimals, Jaguar and Dreadmon, Mondo Gecko, Wingnut and Screwloose, the re-release of them, but based off of the actual comic book series since it is back on the market?
It's always possible. I think a lot of it will depend on actually how big Turtles gets. If it's really blows up, then yeah, I think the possibility is probably pretty good. But again, to Chris's point, it all depends on consumer demand.
But there's a lot of things that have come out of Turtles. Do you guys have, not just in the new toy line, but any one specific toy that you really like?
From what's been done in the past up till now?
All Ninja Turtle history.
Oh, gosh. One that I really liked that probably didn't do as well as we had hoped was the Sewer Spewer, the RC Sewer Spewer, that actually shot out the Silly Stringy.
Yeah.
I thought that was very, very cool and very well done. And, I think down the road, hopefully, we can reintroduce RC to the Turtle line again and, have a big hit on our hands. That'd
be awesome. That would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely, I think there was a couple of gold statues for some of the anniversaries, a bronze statue, that probably weren't, toyetic, that were done, just...
The Leonardo gold one for the 10th anniversary was the main one.
Yeah, and there was one for the 5th anniversary as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's definitely appealing. I've actually never seen one of those, but, that'd be interesting. But then, of course, what we're working on now for 2014, just seeing, some of the cool ideas and things like that, I definitely hope that we're able to bring a lot of that stuff to market.
It's pretty amazing that the toy company has been able to remain the same with the same kind of feel coming from it all these years, and the fans can say these are the people. So.
Yeah, I think you're right, and you don't see that often, happening anymore in the toy business, and I think Playmates has been, fortunate to be able to retain and hold on to the Turtle license as long as we have, and again, I think working with Nickelodeon's been a joy, and hopefully we'll have the license for years to come.
Now, are you guys looking at doing any events like toy shows or anything in the next year or so, and promotions that fans can come and see you? You guys set up yet?
We'll be at New York Toy Fair in February, which I know isn't a consumer show, unfortunately. And we'll see what happens with next year at San Diego Comic-Con as well. So, I think there'll be opportunities, and as the brand gets out there and grows in size, we'll definitely be there to publicize and get it out in the public.
Plus, Nickelodeon will also be doing a lot of promotion and events for Turtles and promoting the animation series. And of course, will lend itself of being there, giving product, things like that to help promote the toy lines at certain events as well.
With San Diego Comic-Con next year, we're probably going to be starting to hear some of the word about the Ninja Turtle movie since 2013. Usually the announcements are made before then. Mm-hmm. Without any type of spoilers or anything, but is there a line already being planned out for the movie?
It's been talked about, but actually Nickelodeon and Viacom will lead that charge in terms of we have to know what they're going to do for the movie before we can start the toy design. So, right now it's on them to put together a script and get us the assets that we need to develop a toy line.
Is there anything you guys would like to say to the consumers who are watching this that buy Turtle toys, love the toys, and are excited with everything you've been doing?
I think thank you for the support for all these years, and we love the Turtle line going forward. Hopefully you do as well, and booyakasha.
Yeah, I think booyakasha, but also that's we hope you guys really appreciate the new line. We've definitely spent a lot of time thinking about it, going over different elements of really fine-tuning, things that are groundbreaking for, the action aisle. And of course, we're just hoping that everyone likes it as much as we do.
Thank you guys, and we will catch you next time here on Cowabunga Corner.